Okay people, here we are. We're going to be testing the little VIZZ, as you see here, from Princeton Tec. Basically this is a 3 AAA headlamp. When I first got it, it was because I had several other different headlamps, but they're quite big, from Phoenix, from LED Lancer, very bulky and very powerful. But I thought I needed something a bit smaller, more easy to carry around, and also very versatile and with a nice interface. And I ended up with this little guy. As you can see, this is a very small headlamp. It has one single strap that goes around your head, and you don't need anything else over your head because it's very lightweight. When it comes to the functionality, for example, to replace batteries, it's very easy and safe because you have to unscrew with this little part. You unscrew this thing and you put all the batteries there, and later you tidy it up, and it will be very safe, very sealed, and it's very nice. So that's about the constructions. What things I like about the constructions. What I don't like is, for example, this part where it's held. It feels not too safe, so I think after some use it can get a bit loose or something. I hope it won't happen. Or for example, I'm using it, something falls on it, it can break, or even just doing that, you see. So I think maybe if I start running around so badly, like a bit roughly, it could change positions. But okay, that's something. When it comes to the interface, you will see here that it has 5 different LEDs. The one in the center is the most powerful. You will have, it's called Max Bright LED, and you'll have 165 lumens, and it will last for 110 hours according to the manual. But I can tell you that it doesn't last that much. At most you will have 3 hours, maybe 2.5, because it's really powerful. You have later the 2 LEDs, those right next to it, those are red LEDs, ultra bright red LEDs, and it will last for 150 hours according to the manual. And later you have the 2 LEDs in the sides. Those are called ultra bright white dimmable LEDs. So that's about the LEDs. So for example, from off, one single press to the button and you have red, and off, 2 very quick clicks. You have the center one, 165 lumens, and off. And if you press and keep pressing, you have the dimmable LEDs. It goes all the way up and all the way down and flashes in both extremes. The good things about this one is, even though it has no memory function, for example, I don't need to turn it off and on again to change. For example, there I am in the red, and if I keep pressing, automatically I go to the dimming function. And if I am in the dimming function, for example, and I do 2 quick clicks, automatically it goes to the red LED and to the max bright. And again, I press and keep pressing. Dimmable, I only have to turn off and wait and on again for the red. But basically the red is the one you will lose the less, only when you want to read some maps or something. So that's about the interface. Some very cool thing about this one is that it has the locking functionality. For example, I will do 3 quick clicks and it flashes 3 times. That means that it's locked every time I try to turn it off. Try to turn it on, it won't. And if I do 3 quick clicks, it flashes twice and it tells you that it's ready to use again. So that's good when you want to carry it in your backpack. You don't want your batteries to get drained. That's very useful. Something I don't like about this one is that the button sometimes is a bit hard to find. If you have fat fingers, for example, like mine, you will see that sometimes, or actually most of the times, I have to use my nails to turn it on and off. to be able to press the buttons with no problems, because it would be better if it was a bit higher and easier to find, because since it has locking functionality, it wouldn't be any problem. Something that I have found out, for example, if you want some very quick bright light, it's much better to do the 2 quick clicks to have the main one than press and keep pressing and wait for the bright test level in the dimmable LEDs and the dimmable LEDs. Why? Because the dimmable LEDs, will always turn on in the lowest setting, and you have to wait until you have the max output. So for example, I will count how many seconds it takes. 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 4 seconds to get the max output in the dimmable LEDs, and you will count how much it takes for the main one. Not even 1 second to have the max bright LED. So if you want immediate, very fast and bright light, it's much better to do 2 quick clicks than keep pressing and wait for it to go all the way up. That's something I would like it to have some memory function in the dimmable LEDs. It's not too nice to have always on in the lowest level. So that's about the headlamp, the functionality, the constructions. Now we will go to the outdoor to see how this little guy does there in the dark. Let's go. Okay, so here we are in the outdoors with the VIZZ from Princeton Tec. We're going to be testing how this little guy does here. Here we go. So, as you know, 1 single click will turn on the red LED. You can see there that it's not too bright. It's not useful for walking around, but it's the main reason for this is, for example, here, if you want to read some map or something, here I have the manual actually, and I can see it with no problems. I can read it absolutely with no problems, and after a while I can be reading, for example, I can be reading this, and if I take it off and I turn off the light, I won't be blinded. So it's very good if you're looking at the stars and you have some stars map or something. That would be very good, but it's not too good for walking around. Also, it's useful for example, if you're hunting and it is said that you won't be seen by the animals with the red LED. But I think it's more useful if you're reading maps or something, or directions in the dark and you don't want to get blinded. No problems at all. So that's 1 single click. From off, if I turn it off again, 1 click. If I do 2 clicks, as you will see here, that is the max bright LED. This is the one that will give you the maximum output. This is actually 165 lumens, and it says here, let me remember, it says that you will have 110 hours with this one, with the max bright LED, but I don't quite believe that. I have been using this LED for quite a long time, and the light for quite a long time, and I can tell you that it doesn't last 110 hours at all. It is at most 3 hours or something, and maybe you will have more time, but it will lose all the brightness, and it can last lots of hours, but in a very low power output. So as you can see, this one, for example, that tree over there, that tree top must be maybe 30 meters from me, there, and you can see it with absolutely no problems. Do you see? Maybe I can light some other see over there. I don't know if you can see it. No, it's impossible to see. But for example, you can notice how bright this is, and it's very comfortable. Wait for the camera to focus. It's a very comfortable light pattern. It has some very nice hotspot, but it's not too tight. So even though it can light very far, but it's also very comfortable spill area, as you can notice there. So it's very comfortable. But the bad thing is that you will obtain very bad battery life with this one. So one more single click to turn it off, and you can do it from off or from any other setting. I will press and keep pressing. You will see, and you have the dimming function from the very lowest to the very highest, and it flashes when it reaches both the lowest there and the highest. We will leave it first there in the lowest, but I can tell you that in the camera you don't notice it too well. The camera doesn't make any justice to the light, because maybe you can only notice just the center of the light, but you don't notice the spill area around, which is very good. So even with this one, the very lowest setting, you can walk, for example, inside the house. If you want to save some battery, you don't only have that hotspot. My eyes see much clearer than you can see it in the camera. Now we'll go to the highest. I press and keep pressing, and there you have the very highest with the dimming LEDs. These are the two ultra bright LEDs that are in the sides, and I tell you again that this camera doesn't make any justice to the light, because I don't only have that light, that spotlight, but it's a very nice and very comfortable light. I will try to show it here from a bit farther illumination. For example, here, very close, you see it very bright, and of course with the camera focus, the light adjustment, it's a bit hard to notice how nice it lights, but I can tell you it's a very wide and very comfortable illumination. So it's very good if you want to walk around, if you are even in the outdoors. It can be very useful, and the good thing is that it is only 3 AAAs. So with 3 AAAs you can be carrying a couple of spare battery packs, and it will be very comfortable. It won't be too heavy to carry around. So again, I tell you, please believe me that the light itself in real life is much better and much wider and brighter than you can see here. But there you have it. So for example, here from the dimming function, I do 2 quick clicks, and I have the max bright, and if I am in max bright, I press and keep pressing, and we go to the dimming. I tell you that here in the camera it seems like this one, if this brightness were much lower than this one, it seems very different. But I can tell you that, for example, from here to this one, it's not so much difference. It's just the fact that it's very diffused, that you see it different. So the hotspot in this one is not as strong as this one, but the spill area in this one is very comfortable. And even in the brightest output with the dimming LEDs, you will have a very nice and very decent battery life. So again, for example, here I am in the red setting, and if I am in the red setting with no need to turn it on, with no need to turn it off again, I will press and keep pressing, and automatically I will go to the dimming function. For example, again, if I am in the red, setting. I am reading some map and suddenly I want to turn off to change to the max output. I just do 2 quick clicks and I change. So that's a very nice interface. I don't need to turn it off to change. It doesn't have memory function, but the clicking settings are very comfortable, very easy to use. So I tell you, it's a very nice. When it comes to the interface, it's very good. I like it a lot. Of course, it could be much better in some other details, but this is the 2 dimming ultra bright LEDs, and this is the ones I use the most, because if I want some very powerful light, I will use some other ones. For example, some LED lancers, some Phoenix headlamps that are much brighter. But this small one, actually I got it because I wanted something not so bright and much lighter. So, well, that was the VIZZ from Princeton Tec. I hope you liked this review, and I hope it was useful for you guys. See you in some next review. Thanks for watching.